Should he get his Heisman back?
Of course he should get his Heisman back. He wasn't caught taking performance
so many
enhancers.
Questions on this show today.
He didn't get caught red-handed taking performance enhancers. He got caught being great and also in the same system as everyone else, but he got caught. Like, do people remember what it was about? It was like his parents got about a year or something like that of free rent in a place near, like in San Diego, and I think the number was $10,000 to furnish the house. Okay, you ain't getting museum quality furniture. It's not like they're living the high life. Like the fact that a guy made his family a little more comfortable for a couple of years while he was in school, participating in a system where everyone gets rich except the players who are actually doing the work. Like, no one cared back then among college football fans. No one cared. Everyone knew what was going on in many of these programs. It's not like you'd be, oh my God, I'm shocked that this is happening. And not only that, bad Reggie Bush. No one felt that way except the NCAA, and then USC and these other schools have to also pretend to be appalled because of the NCAA's rules. The disassociation was absurd in the first place. The taking the back of the Heisman as though those things didn't occur on the field was absurd. Of course, that it all should be restored. And by the way, vacating championships while we're at it, did you see what happened? Yes or no? Stop it. It was always foolishness, and now finally people are saying it out loud more.
This attempt to appear pure by the NCAA and the Heisman Trophy and universities is embarrassing and unfortunate. It's not something that you should take away. I agree with you. Don't take away trophies or titles or anything for this minor infraction that Reggie Bush had, which actually shouldn't even been an infraction. Like, I do understand. The interesting thing is, I would understand, and you brought this up, if there was cheating, that's one thing. But we have evidence in professional sports that cheating has taken place multiple times and nobody's taken anybody's records away or anybody's trophies away. That stuff exists. But somehow in the more impure system of college athletics, somehow that impure system tries to find some level of purity around their Heisman Trophy and around someone getting compensated. Undervalued, I might add. Compensated for being one of the best players of all time. He was so real. It was so fun. And if a year's worth of rent and $10,000 is what we had to pay to get this, my God, did you guys get a discount? They were in national championships games. People on the West Coast, the East Coast, the entire country were tuning in to watch this, making y'all more money, setting Pete Carroll up to go be a Super Bowl champion in the NFL. And somehow the only person who has to pay any price for this is the young man who is putting this team ahead. And obviously it wasn't Matt Leinart who was the quarterback. He's not necessarily the reason why they were good. It was because of, in large part, because of Reggie Bush. So, I mean, I'm happy that he's happy about this, but as we established in the first segment of the show, I'm petty. I might not accept it if I was him. I'd tell him I was accepting it, and then come up there and give a speech about how stupid the NCAA is. What do you think, Jay?
A couple of things, and I know it has nothing to do with football. Rick Pitino's still coaching in college basketball, guys.
Yeah.
Rick Pitino's still coaching in college basketball. And we're talking about,
at its finest.
Whether this young
Has there been any
individual
proof that he is receiving compensation for coaching?
Fair, Max, fair point. I just sit back and I take all this in and I watch it. Of course, he should get his Heisman Trophy back. You know what this is, though? This is what big business does, guys. They learn how to pivot very quickly. And it's funny, not only Reggie Bush, but all of a sudden O.J. Mayo is invited back to USC. We're just accepting everybody. Come on back. Like, we want to brand everybody. This is a place that's home. This is a place that, everybody makes mistakes. We're accepting. It's just interesting that now we're very accepting in the midst of a pandemic, and we're in the midst of protest and rioting out there, and it's just a very convenient time to make these statements. Now, look, I get it that this is where it is. I just think it's very convenient, the pivoting time of a lot of universities, not only Reggie Bush, but now even O.J. Mayo is accepted back. He's reinstated. And I think you're going to see a lot of universities be way more progressive with this. And it's just not only athletics, even though that will attract and generate a lot of revenue. It's also about, how do we find ways to market ourselves differently in an environment? You're seeing schools out there saying we don't need SAT scores, we don't need ACT scores anymore for your acceptance into this university. And I think you're going to see a lot of schools kind of pivot very quickly and be up to date, this is the way it should have always been, guys, on how to make it more encompassing of everybody. You're welcome here, because we're still trying to generate revenue. This is still a business that we're trying to be successful in, and we'll see how that works out.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I know that Reggie, as soon as they brought Reggie and OJ back in the fold, I guarantee the Alumni Association sent them an email asking for a check, wanting some money, because they always trying to raise money, especially when we're going into all this time. But I think that they owe Reggie a check and an apology.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.